Hi everyone, in this video I will show you how to use before and after selector in CSS. Well, just to get the definition clear, a before selector will insert something before the content of whatever the item it is inside the HTML that you have selected, whereas the after selector will insert something after the content which you have selected. Okay, now if that doesn't make sense right now, it will make sense once I implement this. So please stick to this tutorial. Now on my screen you can see there is a h1 tag which says messages, and this is some styling which I have given to it. Now this particular thing is very important. For h1 tag I have given it a position of relative. This is my HTML. As you can see, there's nothing else, just an h1 tag which says messages. If you're not aware how positions work, I'll give you a very small introduction to it. In this video I will use two kinds of position relative and position absolute. Position relative will position an element based on its current position and it will not change the layout, whereas position absolute will position an element based on its closest ancestor. Now to add a before selector for this h1 tag, all I need to do is type h1 and then a colon and then before. Let's give this a background color of blue. Give it a content of 1. So I'll explain what this content is. This content will specify whatever data you want to store or whatever item you want to put inside this before tag. Now it's not actually a tag because you're not adding any changes to the HTML. So this is a really good way of adding content to your page without actually making any change in the HTML code. So I'll give it a height of 30 pixels and a width of, let's say, 25 pixels, just so it's clearer. Now I will give this a position of absolute and I'll give it a color of white. Now you can see, since its position is absolute, it is displayed over the messages or over the h1 tag. Let's give it a border radius of 50% so that it looks like a circle. Let's change the positioning to left, let's say 60 pixels. Okay, that should be around 50, 90, 80, 85, I think 75 should be good. And let's give it a top of minus 10 pixels. I think minus 15 should be good. So now it looks like a notification. Let's give it a font size of small. Okay, give it a display flex. Justify content center, align items center. Okay, so now this number is inside the circle. So yeah, this is how you use a before selector. If you go to the index.html, we haven't changed anything inside the main HTML file. Now if we want to add this element after h1 tag, we will use after. But right now it is not, you will not know the difference just by looking at it because the CSS is same as before. But if I inspect on it, then you can see that this after element is present after the content inside this h1 tag. If I change it to before, now this before is present before the content of h1 tag. Now I hope the difference is clear. You can use this any way you want. Now let's say this content is hard coded right now, but you want it to be dynamic. Okay, so what you can do is you can create a data attribute, any kind of attribute on your HTML for this h1 tag, and you can just pass it back to the CSS. So that way this will be dynamically changed. Anytime like there is a new message, this will get updated by itself. So that is how before and after works. I hope this video was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for watching.